Hello.
Welcome to Bad at Toph.
Yep, that's what it is. Y'all, welcome to Bad at Board Games.
I'm Brad Lake.
I'm Topher Ferguson.
And we're bad at board games, so you don't have to be
Yes.
like us.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because no one wants that. You don't want that.
Those who play games against me on BGA know, oh, he really is bad at board games.
I don't play board games on BGA enough, but you would probably find the same.
I did win this week, though, at Rising Sun. You didn't make it.
That's right. I can't believe you played that.
Derek brought it. That's why Alex wanted to play, so Derek brought it and taught it. I like it a lot.
You had talked about that.
But you guys didn't come here for what we played this week. You came here to find out what our top 5, 10-ish, got too long.
10-ish.
So we've broken this up into 2 videos that may come out together, that may get squished into one, that may somehow you may be like, what are you talking about? Just get on with it. 5 more games, the best ever.
Top 5 games of all time.
These are better than everybody else's.
And mine are better than Brad's.
Yes. It's not a top 5 list. If you see this and it's top 5, no. It's top 100. We had to break up the top 10 into 2.
We talk a
Who
lot.
wants to listen to 2 hours of a top 10?
No one does. So, yeah.
So I'll just cut out Toph's. So when you finally do see this in the edit, it'll just be Brad's top 10.
Can't wait to see how bad you are at that. You can press it again and it stops it.
Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
You said this last time. He's slow. Those of you who watched it, you saw him. Like, oh, you can turn it off? Wow.
I just can't reach most of
It's
them.
been like
I've
a
got
week.
short arms.
It's been a week.
I
can't reach things. Or think of, anyway.
I'm going back to I need a sound booth, an isolation booth.
Don't make me touch you.
Please don't. Please don't. People don't want to see that. They want to talk about our top 5 games.
What's your top 5?
Let's get
What's your number
into
5?
Our top 5. So
Of all time.
here we go. Oh, I'm excited already. I got to find them because we hid the game. So hold on. I'll be right back. My number 5 game of all time. It's a game that Brad and I played this year, and we will not play this one ever again. At least not this box.
Interesting.
Pandemic Legacy. So
Good
we might
game.
play a different Pandemic Legacy.
Yes.
And I would be willing to play Season 1 again, just we can't play my box because it's shredded to pieces.
We opened up all the specials.
Yes, this is a game that I learned Brad likes to open little boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So
all the envelopes, all the things.
all the things. Yeah.
Cool.
Pandemic Legacy. I love Pandemic already. Like, I do love that game. I continue to love that game. It is on my top 100 games of all times still. I can't tell you. I've probably played that game maybe more than almost anything else other than Catan.
Mm-hmm.
Pandemic Legacy just, the hype is there. When people talk about how good this game is, it is there. It is just such a fun game. I did cry the first time I had to tear up a card. I think Brad might have filmed it, actually.
Like, do it.
It's
like
so
Emperor Palpatine.
Hard. It is so hard to do. But by the end of it, I was like, give me that card and just start shredding it to pieces. Like, you get used to it and you get into it. Brad and I played this. We did play at least one of the, I'll call it an episode. So one of the months. So it's 12 months of the game. We did play one of them, I think, with Ashby. We played one of them with your wife.
Yeah, I think that was it.
One or two. Otherwise, it was just 2 of us playing it. We had some problems. Some of our characters didn't make it.
Yep.
Rest in peace. But we ended up, I think, overall doing well.
Yeah, we didn't. Like when they score you how well you did for the whole campaign, it's like we were mid.
Yeah.
We weren't like horrible. We weren't high, but
For bad at board games, I take that as a win.
we didn't lose every month all the time, and we didn't win every month all the time. So
yeah. A couple of the months we had to play a couple times. I don't know if we lost twice. If we played the month,
we never
over.
lost 3 times in a row for the same month.
I think you do. You play it over, don't you? If you lose,
well,
you play it again.
then they force you into the next month. You get 2 shots.
That's what it is. Yeah. So anyway, so we started this in 2022 and we finished it in 2023. We played it kind of over the holidays and then starting into the new year. So it's been a while since we played it, but absolutely love it. I do have season 2, so I'm waiting for that opportunity when Brad and I will have the time to sit down and dedicate to playing another legacy game. I have not picked up season 0 yet, but if I can find it at a good price, I will be picking that up because I love Pandemic and I love what they did with Legacy so much.
And I'm not a Pandemic fan. I did like the Clone Wars, Star Wars they came out with for just the system, the mechanic. But this I loved.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved. I have it on my top 100 somewhere, I'm
You
sure.
did.
But like when we were playing this and going through that story, it's top 10, top 20. It is great. It really, really was. And so I don't think you have to like Pandemic to like this.
No, but if you do, I think this is going to make you love Pandemic even more.
It won't make you love it if you don't like co-op games.
Yeah, you have to like co-op games. You have to be eventually okay with destroying board game components.
Which isn't that bad. Honestly, like, it's definitely worth cutting up some cards, and there's reasons for it.
It is. It definitely is. But it's not all of our games, but we sleeve a lot of them. We upgrade a lot of games, and so the idea of ripping something up is terrifying. But this cannot be on my top 10 always and forever, because you play it once and it's done unless you keep playing it. I know Derek said that he's played this multiple times with different people, but I really, for now, it's still, we played it this year. It is up there as probably probably the best gaming experience overall that I feel like we had this year. So loved it. Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
Usually the games that I play without him are better. Oh, sorry. Speaking of games, my number 5.
Why are we friends?
Is one of your games.
Oh, wait. You like some of my games. Willow has now taken the spot where we graveyard our boxes. Willow is his dog, by the way.
One of my dogs is.
Yes.
So can you grab the game that you own after I just got done insulting you?
Yes. So we are talking about...
My number 5 is Brass Birmingham, not this garbage.
It's on.
Oh, you can't say anything bad about Brass.
Oh, no.
He loves this game.
I do like this game. I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah, we played it, I don't know, about a month ago, it feels like. I think it was over the holidays. I got destroyed. Usually we're pretty close. On this time, I was just getting hammered. Oh, my goodness. It was bad. It was bad. But I couldn't get anything going on it. But but this game is great.
It is. It is. There's a reason it is as high as it is on the top hotness.
What do you think? It's the number 1 of all time on BGG, or number 2 because of the whole flame wars between them and Gloomhaven? They're both great games. One's an adventure D&D. This is, a Euro game. But this is a great mechanic. It's really cool being able to take out the loans, and that you feel like, how am I going to get out of this? And then you get out of the loan and you start making income. It's clean. It's not overdone complexity for complexity's sake, but it's crunchy at the same time. I don't know. To me, it's a clean mechanic.
I agree with that completely. It is a beautiful engine builder.
Yeah.
Beautiful engine builder.
And it just, it doesn't feel like there's too much. I sat down with a demo of a game at Tantrum Con that's Kickstarter coming up. I was really interested in it. Ian O'Toole art, not a designer I know and everything, but it was just like, as he was explaining it and going through it, I'm like, it was complexity for complexity's sake.
Yeah. Instead
of just being like, let's make it. It was a cool game. I just think they took it too far. It's not knowing when to stop.
Yeah.
This is in comparison. This is a minimalist game.
Yeah, for the complexity of the game, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah. Yeah, you have so many wonderful things to be able to do, but there's not much to do. So it's like there's all these opportunities and you're very limited in your resources.
Yeah,
and so
the cards you have, once you play them as a resource, you're giving away that, that resource or that action or that city or something. It's forcing you to do some things that, put you on a path.
Oh,
so good.
I love this game so much. Yeah. I cannot, not that I can't believe it's number 5 for you. Where was it last year?
It floats around 5.
Yeah.
It hasn't moved much. It's been in it hasn't dropped lower than 5.
Yeah.
I don't think since our first year doing this.
Okay.
But It's definitely not hurting. It's a great game.
It's a fantastic game. I have not played Brass Lancashire,
Mm-hmm.
but once we got Brass Birmingham and got playing through that, I don't know if I want to go play Brass Lancashire so much. I would love it probably, but it takes a little bit of the complexity out.
Mm.
And this is more true to the original Brass. So, but it's such a good game.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love the way it looks. Love the production Roxley put into this game. And I recommend the clay chips.
Yeah, get the iron clays.
Iron clays.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're worth it. Yeah, the upgrade of this is a little bit thicker boards and the iron clays, and absolutely think that they are worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So that's my number 5.
That's
Great games to come.
y'all. These games are awesome.
Oh, everybody's going to hate my top 4.
You heard it here. Y'all are gonna hate the top 4. Are they all the same?
No.
Okay. So my number 4 game of all time.
All time. Just remember that. Great Western Trail.
Hold on, there's another
Rawhide. More rawhide.
There's more, but
Cattle and sheep and bad at board games.
Yeah, Great Western Trail. So Brad talked about this. It was on his last list. So go check 10 through 6. I am surprised that it fell on his list down that far. For me, it's falling in
number 1 game last 2 years running.
Yeah, that's a setup, or not setup. What's the word? Upset. For sure. For me, it's hitting at a number 4. All of the Great Western Trails hit the same when I did the Pub Meeple ranking. And so it ended up, I believe it was New Zealand, Argentina, and then what would be I'd say original. So second edition is what we're playing here, is the kind of the rankings of how they fell when I did the Pub Meeple ranking this year. So I'm putting them all into one. They're fantastic games. You can't go wrong with any of them. We talked a good bit about it last time, so we won't spend too much time, but I think Argentina is the crunchiest. And I think really honestly, New Zealand is where it's at. It's weird not being cows. It's weird to have sheep, but it's awesome to be able to shear the sheep and get some money for your wool.
Yeah, it's just go watch we break down all 3 of these and tweak out which ones we think are best and why and all that. Go check out that video. Pretty proud of that one. But this is a great game.
It
by
is
one of our favorite designers.
Yeah, Great
mine
Western
for sure.
Just something about Great Western Trail. It's multiple paths. It's multiple things to do. You can try out so many different ways every time you play, and I think Argentina makes that even better because you have less emphasis, like on the train, which we talked about, but having the extra track that you're going up that gives you different things to be able to do, different resources, different, I don't want to call them abilities, but it almost kind of can change the strategy that you have. And all of a sudden you might say, well, now I have this, so why don't I go this pathway instead? And so you don't have to play it the same way every time you play the game, which makes it so fresh every time you sit down and play, and also makes all the games different because, with second edition, I got to know Brad's strategy pretty early on in what he was doing, and he was doing a lot in many of the games, and he plays certain aspects fantastic that I cannot do in that game. He plays the train so well, and I can't beat him that way. I've got to come up with different ways to do it, and I think that's the enjoyment of this game is you're getting into complexity, but you're getting into a game that can be played over and over and over and over again, and every time it's just as exciting. In fact, maybe more so sometimes.
Yeah, and like I said, we own all 3 of them. I want Argentina, but it's I'll sit down and play any one of them.
Yeah,
at any time.
So I own Argentina, and he owns New Zealand second edition and Rails to the North. And I mean, I don't know. Part of me is like, well, I guess I could give it to you, but then I'm like, I don't know. I really want it to.
No, give it to him.
I love it so much.
Great game.
Argentina's definitely not the one that I want to sit down and play all the time, though.
It's the crunchier. It's closer to a little assertive than it is. Some of the others.
Yeah.
So this one I have a lot of boxes for. I have, and I guess one of the reasons, I don't know about you, but the reasons I lumped multiple versions of something together is because I don't like it on BGG's list to see like Great Western Trail Second Edition, Great Western Trail regular, and like, you know, the like just shove it into one spot
when
and
they
be
are
done with it.
when they
they're
are
the same
similar enough.
game.
Yeah.
Now it's different, but the next one is a biggie.
Yeah.
Marvel
buddy.
Zombies. Heroes Resistance.
This game, y'all, Heroes Resistance. Look for it if you want to get into this.
Marvel Zombies, bad guys, whatever. You're
X-Men or
the bad
Zombies?
guys, and then Marvel Zombies, X-Men Resistance.
You have more, don't you?
That is it.
Can we keep this here always and forever? I like the separation. Whoops. Please don't touch me. I just feel it. I can't see it. I feel it.
Anyway, I love this game. I think this game is a riot. I think it's just fun, and I want to play it. I want to play it more. You know, like, and there's strategy to this. You can't now when you kind of figure it out, you almost want to make it harder to play. But there's some scenarios like just the second scenario in this. Which one is it? This one, where you have the Avenger Towers.
Oh, so hard.
Brutal
So
hard. Like, this is hard. This is not like, you know, they're back to a version of Zombicide that is tough.
Yeah.
And I liked comic book heroes. I may be like getting past the movies and everything, but like I enjoyed comics. I enjoyed the comic book heroes. I was a Marvel person, not a DC person. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then the X-Men ones are great. And then I happened to buy I didn't do the Kickstarter, so I ended up getting this box with I bought all of this basically from Game Stewart, except for the retail version that was at Target.
Heroes Resistance, which is fantastic in itself.
But it's great, and I like having all the extra stuff, so we can just, it's kind of like Cthulhu Death May Die. We can try different heroes, and we can go on it. You know, okay, this tells you this scenario is going to be like 2 hours. Let's play that. Or this one's going to be 90 minutes. Let's play that. Or 60 minutes or 45. Like, you can pick, you know, different scenarios that allow you to play and based on the amount of time you have.
And you can also be like me and just say, I'm going to fight them all.
Mm.
And then Brad yells and says, don't, you can't. We're going to die. Stay with us.
And our first game lasted 5 minutes.
Sometimes
15.
Sometimes I am not the reason why the games end so soon. I am not always that person that ends the game so soon. In fact, I think the last time we played X-Men,
was it Ashby?
Ashby, first
Ashby's
turn
fault.
of the game, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it was 10 or 15 minute game. We reset and played it again and won. But yeah, you gotta kind of try to stay two spaces away from all the zombies in case they rush.
yeah, and you got to kind of stay with somebody.
Yeah.
Usually, you go off on your own.
You want a
you're
buddy
probably
to
gonna
take it
die.
like, hey, you're gonna get hit, not me.
Yeah, it's such a fun game.
Yeah.
I like the Death May Die more. I mean, I know Death May Die is not Zombicide, but it's kind of Zombicide.
Right.
I like that more. It's a different feel of things rushing to get you, but there's something about this game.
It's shiny. Don't get me wrong. There's a newness factor to this, but I've been playing it a lot.
It's more chaotic. It's more like it's the experience. It's not the playing of the board game as much as the experience of the group playing the board game.
And it's still, but I'll still play it solo.
Oh yeah,
I still enjoy. You know, like, I hear what he's saying, and it's a great group experience. It's a Ameritrash, whatever. I don't care. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
I can like brass Birmingham, and I can like that at the same time.
I mean, I had it on my list. Where did I have it? It was up there somewhere.
I know it was in your top 50 or 40, I thought.
Yeah. I'm not going to keep looking, but yeah. So I love it. It's such a good game. I'm glad you picked up X-Men because I was more DC than Marvel in terms of my interests, but X-Men was always my absolute favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was, not to say I didn't like the Marvel. I did a lot, but then all of a sudden the X-Men came out and I was like, oh my God, who do I want to play?
Yeah.
You
were Rogue, weren't you?
I did play Rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I had it between Rogue and Storm and Gambit. Gambit was one of my absolute favorites, but Rogue was as well. Like, it's a fun. I was hoping I could like steal more powers and try to figure out how to get it. I couldn't get up high enough, I don't think, in order to be able to really get the fun of absorbing somebody's powers and using them. But I thought that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So.
it was cool. It was a great game. I love it very much. And all the Marvel Zombies is my number 4 of all time.
It's
Great
good.
game.
It's very good.
You know, I'll put a caveat in there. Like when we get Cthulhu Death May Die Season 3, these two could swap, right? Like, you know, this could go to number 11 and that could go to number 3 or whatever. But you know, they're good games. They're good games.
Yeah, they're just different. They're not like, I love them both, but I love them both for different reasons.
Oh yeah, they're not the same. They're not. But like they're both by CMON. They both have a bunch of miniatures. You know, there are the things that are all, you know,
it's
Eurogamers may, you know, kind of poo-poo on, but they're fun.
There they are.
They're fun.
But it's based on a Zombicide game. Like it is kind of in the makeup of Death May Die. Fantastic. Absolutely fun.
Yep. Number 4.
Oh, we enjoy that game a lot.
What's on number 3? Are we to your number 3?
We are to my number 3.
Garbage.
You don't even know what my number 3 is.
I know. I'm just being a jerk.
What do you think my number 3 is?
I honestly don't know, because I know there's 2 games that are on, but I don't know the third. And I don't know in which order.
Okay.
So I am curious to see. I'm excited.
Top 3. Do you want to do this like completely hidden?
Yeah, I don't want to know. I want to know one at a time.
Okay. Look away.
Dun, dun, dun.
Are y'all ready? I feel like we should set this up. Like, do we get where's that? Not that one. No, not that one.
You can laugh at him.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Fighting?
It's not fighting. I don't know. What's the one that's like, get ready, here we go.
Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
Oh, that one's not as fun.
Hello
okay,
and welcome
here we go.
to
That's enough of
tonight's
it.
show.
Brad, look away.
Okay. That one?
Sure. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
This is my number 3 game of all times,
Wah, wah.
2024 edition.
Can I look at?
It hurts me.
Can I look at?
Yeah.
Yay! It's horrible. It's dropping. Upset.
No
For
joke.
those of you here.
No joke right now, my gut
Probably
just
hurts
dropped.
him.
It does.
It hurts him.
It does. So if you've been around for a while, you know that Terraforming Mars has been my number 1 game of all times, and it's been that way for at least, 2 years?
I felt
We've
like
done
you
2?
weren't gonna waste. It's funny because I really thought you were just gonna hold on to this at number 1. I
Well,
really felt like it based on what we were talking on the way from from 100 to here. I was like, oh yeah, he didn't change it. Didn't sound like there was an upset. There's an upset, people.
It is.
Now I don't know what the number. There's one game I don't know what it is.
So I'll say one of the reasons why this has fallen for me is because in terms of the game itself, absolutely still ranking maybe number 1 for me. I love the engine building of this game so much. It's for me, one of the absolute best games to be just reactive and build an engine and just kind of go with it, go with the flow. You got to figure it out as you go. Love that. Absolutely love it. But we don't play it.
I figured out what is ahead of this.
Okay.
Ark
We'll
Nova.
see. He needs to go away. So, Terraforming Mars, heads and shoulders above Ark Nova.
For those
so much
of you
better
who
game.
don't know, Toph does not like Ark Nova.
For those
it's still
of
in
you,
his top 100.
it's not that I don't like it. It's
I like
that
to exaggerate.
the hype does not match the game. And unfortunately, I bought into the hype, and I was sorely disappointed. So Terraforming Mars, I absolutely love the game. I think this is a game that if Brad would play it, but Brad doesn't want to be my friend, so he won't play it with me, he'll start to see how beautiful the game is. You know, especially as we get into the expansions, especially as we start to see the
Probably
other
if you
things that are
made
added
it
in.
like a zoo and with animals.
You just shut your mouth. So I will say I'm not a huge fan of Turmoil in terms of the expansions. You would like Turmoil probably a little bit more. The idea of building the government and kind of it changing and morphing and that affecting some things. I haven't played it enough to say that I enjoy it, but it changes the game so much. But Venus Next and just seeing the I'd say Venus I play with every single time now going forward. Colonies also I probably will always play with going forward. Prelude is an obvious You have to. I think that should have been included in the base game. They're coming out with Prelude 2. That will come hopefully sometime soon. I don't know when it'll get to me. But yes, I did back that. And so I absolutely love the game. I love everything about it. There's very few complaints that I have about it. I will say I did a terrible job apparently at introducing this to Brad, and therefore he will never play this game with me.
I've played it a couple times.
Uh-huh.
It hasn't been just once.
And yeah, so I love it. I just can't find people right now to play it. And we have so many great games that the people that will play it, which is almost everybody else in our gaming group, we have so many other great games that this one does not come to the table often, unfortunately. And so it has fallen for me. Also, I've started playing other solo games. I used to play this one solo, and I can't tell you if this year I even pulled this off the shelf to play solo. So
I appreciate the game. I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the there's so many cards, and it's so, like, I don't know if I have a good one or bad. Like, I think if I played it 10, 20 times and started to get an idea of what the big stack is, but he's got all the expansions in it, like, it's tough, right? And, so, like, I know to, like, go out and try to, like, get buildings and get the cities and find those multipliers and stuff. But then, like, the engine, knowing how those parlay into each other and make that work, there's too many for me. Like I said, it's like I've played Arc Nova enough now that I kind of like, okay, I know I need to do this. I know I need to do this. I know I need to do this. And not necessarily in the order of that. And then I can kind of pivot based on what cards are coming out. I know it well enough, but this one is just, I'm probably not going to play it enough times to know that.
There's a very big difference between this and Arc Nova.
Yeah.
Very big difference between the two. I will say, now that you have figured out Heat, think of it the same way. This is a game. So Brad is very good at strategy. Brad can think far ahead in advance, and he is on a path to get there. This is not that game. You cannot do that in this game. This is definitely reactive, and you have to be willing to throw away what you don't need. Hate drafting is not going to work well in this game, because you're going to hate draft something if you do the drafting mechanic, and then you're not going to get what you need to be able to play. And so this is definitely a game where you have to think in the moment, what is this card going to do for me? And if you start to get a few little things in your tableau, engine-wise, going, then okay, well, I've got something that is producing this microbe, or I have something that is doing this. Therefore, I'm going to try to keep my eye out for something that might come along that I can add into that. But then at the same time, you're looking at what you're getting and you're saying, well, I don't have a whole lot, so I got to do something different. You have to pivot. And so it's not so much knowing the cards that's in the deck. It's just knowing, okay, I have to be okay with changing and doing a different strategy at the moment.
Yeah. And I don't think I know the strategies to go after it all enough. And that's part of it.
And that's some of it. Yeah, you have to kind of play it to see.
And now I just like bad-mouthing it because it really annoys him.
It does. It does, because it's such a fantastic game, and he just won't give it a try. But I acknowledge that this is not your favorite thing, because your way of playing, what you excel at naturally, is very different than this, and it's not for everybody. It can get quite AP as well, and so some of these games go very, very long.
Yeah, and I think that's one of my other complaints about it, is it can take a while.
Yeah, and we've had that within our gaming group, where we've had nights we've played it and it's been a 4-hour game. Yeah, because and that's the thing is, I think now if I teach it to somebody, one of my first things is going to be, okay, let's look at these cards. Be willing to throw them away. Be willing to just try something, because if you try to think too hard and it's your turn and you're like, I've got 2 things I can do this turn, 1 or 2, what am I going to do? And you sit there and it just, you sit for 5 minutes trying to figure out what you're going to do. Everybody else is like, well, what are we doing?
Right.
It can be a slog. So you just have to go with it. And that's some of the fun of it. So anyway, so that has dropped greatly. It was reigning number 1. It is now number 3. That's Terraforming Mars.
My number 3 is shot up.
Terraforming Mars?
Never. So I think this was, I don't know if this was top 10 last year or top 20. I mean, it was in that, right in the edge, right? And that is Barrage. And with the Laywater expansion, and with the 4-player expansion, 4-player, 5-player expansion map. I like that map.
I haven't played that map yet.
Yeah. So I play this now on BGA. I was playing it so much I kind of got burnt out on it. Now I got our group back to sit there and plug away one game at a time. Added another subscriber that was talking about Barrage being one of their favorites. So there's 4 of us playing this right now. But I love this game. I am not great at this game. I'm very mid. When you look at getting 200 points in this game, I'm like,
Yeah.
but it's starting to, I really like it. It's so much.
It was on my, I think it was in my top 20. Yeah, it was number 15 for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time we played this, I think both you and I knew we were going to love it, but our brain hurt
our head.
Like,
you're trying to and you can't this is a game we were both thinking strategically, all this water's going to come down, and we're going to we took every move like chess, and we were almost trying to play every round, every turn, even the round that we had like it was chess. And you can't do that with this either. It's not as tactical, but it is at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a give and take, and so it's somewhere in that middle. But it's a fabulous game. There is take that in this, and it is expected, but at the same time, when people are playing it to try to make their engine work and get their water drops and through things, it doesn't end up being that much take that. But there will be a time when somebody builds a dam above you and you're like, raw.
Yes. Or they build the pathway, I forget what it's called, like the
ductwork.
The ductwork to go from an engine.
Yeah, and they can suck it away from the neutral dam or something. But yeah, there's different ways to combat that. But fabulous game. I've got all of it. I think there's one map I don't have, but then I did kickstart the last one that they just had. But
we've played some of it. I think we played Lee Water.
Yeah, we just played it. We played it in real life with the game group right before Christmas, I think. But
yeah, we did a video on it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, Lake Water?
I remember editing them because the box lids all are one long scenario.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, this is awesome.
But I was surprised. Not necessarily want to play this at 5 players, but I like the 5-player map.
Okay.
So it may or may not open up more, but it also, for all those players that are really good at the base map, it kind of forces you to start looking at the board different.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a hard thinker. This might, I still think this might be the most difficult thinking game that I've played or that we own.
And I think we've talked about it as it didn't seem that hard to learn. Yeah. You have asymmetric-ish characters, and then they get a executive that gives you a little bit more asymmetry. But then you're playing the game the same, but then there's so many things you can get extra, they're not blueprints, but I can get something that allows me to build for free in the places that you would pay, or this one allows me to move my wheel if I build this type of thing. And then Lay Water then brings into another section where, well, if you just completely give up some concrete mixers and your little brown guys, then the little robot guy, put them in the box and they're gone, you get this one-time special ability. And then you got the houses or whatever they are.
The houses?
It's another part of the bottom.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. It's strange because they don't look like houses on your meeple board, but then that's the little icon for building one, and it gives you I can't remember what they are, but
obviously I do not remember that part.
Yeah, well, but I was trying to teach you guys more of the easier stuff.
Yeah.
When we did the Lay Waters expansion, but
I love Barrage a whole lot.
Yeah.
I really do. It's such a good game.
Yeah.
Simone Luciani has become up there, top of the list with some of my absolute favorite designers. And I know he co-designed this, and I don't know if that was with the base game or just the expansion, but either way, I mean, it's just he knows how to make a Euro, and it's
really, really good. I really like it. It's moved up because I've been able to play it. I mean, I've got close to 50 plays of this in now.
I do not, and I will probably never beat Brad again. I don't know if I ever have.
That's not true. You did beat me once.
Okay, once. Yeah. But this is a fun one, even with losing all the time. It's fun to come back and play it again.
It's
and again.
I mean, I didn't win, but I was teaching, trying to. When we had the 4 or 5 players, was it 5 players? Did we play with 5?
I don't remember now. It's been a while.
It might have been 5.
It might have been 5.
It might have been a 5-player game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it still worked. Like, yeah. So, anyway, love this game. Check it out. It's a thinker. It is.
Yeah. My mind is just like churning of the games that
Yeah.
I've played and like the decisions you have to make. Like they're big. It's so tight. Such a tight
Yeah, and
game.
you want just trying to make sure you get your wheel
Uh-huh.
moving so you can get those resources back and use them again.
Yep.
And yeah, you can get stuck pretty quickly.
Yeah. That's a hard strategy. That's a game that has a hard strategy to learn how to play. Like, well.
Yeah, it does.
So
Number 3,
Okay.
Barrage. All of it.
love it. So number 2.
Here
we
we don't know what this
go.
one is. If this is a game I think it is, then I have no idea what number 1 is. So this is going to depend on. I'll know what number 1 is based off. I don't know what number 1 is. How is it? I don't know what number 1 is. Oh my God!
Number 2 game for me, Lisboa.
What is number 1? I have no idea, people. What his number 1 is? I thought this might have pushed it off because you played it solo.
I have played it solo now, and it plays pretty well solo. It does. I like it more with other people.
Yeah.
But Lisboa, absolutely fantastic. Vitel Lacerda. I don't think we've played a game yet that we've not liked
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah. He's got great games. Once we get them all played, we'll rank them. But
Yeah.
he keeps coming out with games faster than we actually can play them.
He does. He does.
They're hard to learn.
And we have 4 games now of his that we have not played. So I've got On Mars, I've got the Escape Plan, and then I've got the Lisboa kind of
Light.
yeah, Lisboa Light, that's
Yeah.
why I call it. But
I almost don't
Carta,
count that one. And then
yeah,
we have
Carta de
Weather
Lisboa.
Machine.
And then he's got Weather Machine, and then I've got Inventions that I think is set to ship in March,
I
February.
didn't realize you backed that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that one I'm super excited about Inventions and can't wait for that to come out. But Lisboa, I feel like this, for me, of all of his games, incorporates the majority of what I want in a board game all in one.
Mm-hmm.
It's got, for one, 2 sections of the board, and you really play them very separately. You've got the action selection side of the board, which has multiple things in it. You've got the building side of the board where you're building out Lisbon and trying to develop it, but at the same time trying to save the buildings from the 3 destructions that came in. So you're looking at the rubble. It's very thematic, extremely thematic.
And then you got the shipyards.
And then you've got the ships. You've got your player board, and depending on where you are and how much of Lisbon you have cleaned up and kind of restored, you are able to do more on your player board because you start unlocking more resources you can hold, and the dogs are going crazy.
Yep.
It's beautiful and it's tight. There are times when you make decisions like, I don't have enough resources. What am I going to do? And those resources are many things. You've got coins, but you also have the other set resources. So your cloth and your books, and then you have the influence, and how are you going to work with that influence? Or you've got to spend influence to do things. And so you got to balance that. And if you don't have the influence, then you got to spend victory points to be able to do things. Nobody wants to lose victory
then you
points.
take one of those people and then move it over.
Yeah.
So you lose influence. So
So
you do that, but you want to do that.
Because you want to be able to build a public building. So you got to get your public servants to work. And
Yeah.
And what Brad is really good with this game is the building of Lisbon and knowing where to build his buildings and kind of where to build the public buildings so that he can maximize the points. I'm not as good at that necessarily, but I do tend to sneak out a win in this game.
Oh yeah, I have not.
And it
Not
shines.
won this.
It shines for me. I would say people probably complain about it being fiddly because there's so many different parts of it, but I don't see this as a fiddly game so much. It's just what makes this the heavyweight game is the amount of options.
Yeah,
and
and you're only
the
taking
reaction to
one.
it.
You're only playing one card. Even.
Yeah,
Like, it's weird, but like I agree with you. I don't think it's fiddly. I think if you don't play this enough, which we don't play it once a month,
yeah.
it's now I gotta kind of relearn it, and that ends up being the barrier to bringing it to the table more. This is a great game. This is absolutely a great game. I'm not sure I've got it on my list this year. Did I put it on my list?
It was high on your list.
Yeah. I mean, all these games should be on the list. But it's hard for me to table because I haven't played it enough to, I remember how to play. Like literally, like being bad at a game and remembering how to play, I can still get it to the table and play it. This one is literally like, I forgot what that mechanic is, and I gotta this, that's the only thing with this. This is a great game. It's a masterpiece. It's beautiful. It's artwork in a board game that I've not seen.
Yeah,
and I don't mean like Tool's artwork. I mean like
the makeup, the mechanic, the game, the design of the game.
Yeah. It's magical.
It is. It's everything has multiple purposes and everything has different outcomes, and you can explore and play. That's another thing I like about this game is you don't have to say this is what I'm going to do and you go for it. You can switch up what you're doing mid-game and go a different direction. You can, you have to do certain things. Like you need to get buildings out because you need the rubble and you need to get the resources that you're coming from it. But, you could go heavy in some other areas and still sneak out a win as opposed to just doing one. You could do ships. You could play with no ships. There's so many fun things to do in this game. So anyway, so Lisboa, my number 2 game. Honestly, I thought this would be my number 1.
And I have no idea what his number 1 is now. I am crazy, curious now. Alrighty, on to my number 2.
Such a good game.
Number 2 was never been on my list before. This is With a Bullet.
Upside down.
Yeah, but I took the, this is actually the Game Bush Chest thing, but at least it has a white symbol on it. So, this is Kingdom Death Monster at number 2.
I figured this would be 1 or 2.
This game is amazing. This is better than Oathsworn. Oathsworn was number 40. This is number 2. This is just better. This is better. It is better in every way. You're gonna be building monsters. You're gonna be building your characters. You're gonna be loading them out. So you get that not just playing the game, but something else. It's kind of how Games Workshop really pushes the price. Yeah, you're paying a lot, but you're going to spend hours building the models, painting the models. You're going to know each model. You may even name each model. It gets ingrained. And it's the same kind of thing here. And then I just really find the uniqueness of the world and how he's taken in, bits and pieces of different mythology and things and and crafted it in a way that just I still feel is unique. Now, somebody may be able to tell me all the tropes and all the things they've been able to pull from. But I look at Warhammer 40K and all right, they stole this from Aliens. This they stole from, Lord of the Rings. You can go through and just see the tropes glaringly. And I don't see the tropes glaringly in this game. So, I find it great. I've already, I got it in November. I've got over almost 30 plays of it in already, and I'm just halfway through. I've had to start over twice, so I'm on my 3rd round of it. I'm only halfway through, maybe. I'm getting close to halfway through my current campaign. I bought all of it, after I played it about 27 times, and they had a great deal at Thanksgiving for their 50% off. So I love this game. Go check out a couple of my videos on it. I'm going to do an Oath versus KDM. Spoiler, you already know which one I'm going to prefer.
Yeah.
But I am now I've done enough plays of of Oathsworn now. Sorry, dog. That I feel like I can compare and contrast them and tell you why I like one over the other. Yeah. And I'm playing Oathsworn with another person, and I'm playing that solo for what it's worth. So.
I have not played either Oathsworn or KDM.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to because I want to play everything, but I also hear Brad talk a lot about comparison of things like, oh, this from here or that from there, and it usually goes back to games that I know I'm not going to enjoy. So I think there's major aspects that I would love, and then I think there's parts of it that make me nervous that I might not enjoy it, and I don't want in my head what I think is such a great game to not be.
You haven't played a boss battler. I hadn't either, really.
Not major ones, no.
These are real just boss battlers, and then they've got the stuff in between that kind of helps the story progress. And I think that's probably why I like KDM as well, is that they're letting your brain fill in the gaps with some of the, just here's a few snippets of a paragraph. And like, then, it's kind of like Pandemic Legacy. They just gave you these little breadcrumbs as you go. There's this bigger mystery. You feel like there's this bigger mystery, and you're hoping that there's this bigger mystery is out there, but it's not revealed itself yet. And so you're kind of, where Oathsworn has some of that. They had a very big at the beginning of Oathsworn, like this, like crazy, oh my God, this happened. But then it hasn't hit that peak again. Like they hit you really quick and really fast, and then they don't come back up. Like it's like, wow, we're way up here, and it's like the second scenario, and then it's like comes back down to normal, and they haven't been able to like ramp it back up, and I'm halfway through that campaign.
Yeah.
So it's cool, and I like it, but that may be part of it, is like, all right, you hit such a high note, and you're not returning to it. Yeah. So,
interesting.
Kingdom Death Monsters, my number 2. I never would have guessed. Never would have guessed.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed until you start. As soon as you started playing it, then I was like, yeah, this is going to be at the top of his list.
Yeah, I really love it.
Knowing how much you've played it makes me think it was going to be number 1. So now I don't know what your number 1 is.
I have a bag, like I've been covering up all my stuff, so there's one more bag right here that he doesn't know what's sitting between me and him.
Like, there's...
Okay, I don't know what your number 1 is either. This is crazy.
I don't know what his number 1 is.
Like last year, I would have picked between Terraforming Mars and Lisboa, and now I have no idea what beat both of them. So let's get to it. You ready? I'm ready.
So my number 1 game of all times is a game that every single time I play it, I like it more and more and more.
I'm excited.
Which means this game has climbed in my list. Obviously, because it's number 1, but it's been in my list before, and it has climbed. And I think I'm waiting for the time that I have a play of the game that is not more exciting than the game before.
Yeah, so it'll finally start to...
Yeah, well, and it's not like I'm waiting for it like it's going to be like a bad thing.
But I would have thought like Arkham, the card game, would have been that, what you're explaining. But so I have no idea. Okay.
And Arkham, the card game, I love Arkham Horror, everything about it, but it is... For one, it's not getting tabled as much right now. So I think, give me, I don't know, several years until I'm Dr. Topher. And then, at that point, maybe I'll play it more frequently on a regular basis, maybe more. But I love the different scenarios, but it's the same thing. This is not solo. This is only being played with somebody else. And
wow,
it's...
All right. I don't want to know. I don't know. Oh my God.
Brass Birmingham. So
I forgot you hadn't talked about this yet.
I'm surprised you didn't remember that I didn't talk about it.
Oh my goodness, it's so good.
I had this as number 2 last year, I believe, number 2 or 3. It was actually the same
number
top
3.
So 3, and then so
because I thought Lisboa was 2. Because I thought
Mars.
Lisboa would be number 1.
Yeah.
I forgot about this. You hadn't talked about this yet.
So, this kind of went into almost sleeper mode for a little bit, and then I think was it just you and I played it?
Yeah.
But I've played it with some other friends as well. And it was like, I went through this period of time where I hadn't played it. And then all of a sudden it was like, this group wants to play it. This group wants to play it. You want to play it. And it just, every single time I am almost more blown away at how beautiful the
way it works.
Yes. I'm trying to say which, because I can't like say it's this or it's this or it's this. It's, the strategy of the game, the way that you're playing, you have so few things that you can do at any moment that it becomes tight in that regard, but there's also a lot of things on the board that you can do, and you're like, I don't know if any of that is going to be good. I don't know if that's going to get me where I want to go. And so learning when to use the functions, like things that we don't ever do. Let's clean up our board and get rid of a couple of our buildings. We don't do that function very often, but that, all of a sudden you're like, wait, I need to, and it's funny because we play enough deck builders that you call cards out of your game. Why are we not calling things out of our tableau? And so you start doing these little things, and then you start to see these little stupid little things on the board. Like, okay, you've got this building which costs this much and gives you this much. Well, if I get rid of that, the next building is so much better, but don't get rid of that building. Don't call it out, because the next building past that isn't going to give you a whole lot. And so make sure that you call one, then start building, and then call the next. Or maybe you go a different strategy and try something different. For the first time, this last time that Brad and I played, I went for pottery. Brad always goes for pottery. I had never gone for pottery. And I wasn't even thinking I was definitely going to get the pottery, out until all of a sudden the pathway where I wanted to go, Brad blocked me. And I was like, okay, well, the only other thing I can do at this point to get points and make it worth me taking my train all the way out to there was the pottery. So I was like, okay, well, let's give it a try. I've got to do 2 of them to make it work. So here we go. And so it's just this idea of, I don't think this is a game you can do a whole lot of take that. You can a little bit, but this is really a try something. Yeah. You get some cards in your hand. You can do 1 or 2, or you do 2. What are you going to play? Where are those cards going to go? And how are you going to make it work? And it's
the biggest take that is when you steal some beer that they were going to use for something else to sell.
The beer is the hardest thing. Yes. That's usually, Brad and I usually are at that battle of the beer. And it's just like, I don't want to say it's the hype of because it's on the hotness type thing, because I haven't been looking at the
It never
topness.
leaves the hotness. It's always been in the top. It's been in the top 10 on BGG. Now it's number 1. Could be whatever.
I mean, it could always drop.
Either way, it's like enough people have played this. Enough people have rated this.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
It's just everything about it. Yeah. It's just beautiful. I love it.
And I like Martin Wallace, and it's interesting. Like, I played the Steam game.
Age of Steam.
Is that the one?
Oh no,
no, it's an older one.
Yeah, I forget which one you played.
Yeah.
I was not here that night.
But it's interesting to see some of those things have evolved and how they ended up in brass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a pick up and deliver game, but like, the rails and the connections and it was just interesting.
Yeah.
And I haven't played all his games, so I can't really tell you, like, see the progression, but it's neat to be able to see a designer's progression from his game 10 years ago to it being more fluid now.
Mm-hmm.
Think of Great Western Trail. How those mechanics have evolved and how it brought something new into it and things is just, this one's so clean. It's such a clean mechanic.
It is. It very much is. And learning.
Sorry, we keep looking at my 3 dogs that are, in and around and doing stuff and making sure they're not going to eat the board game.
I just heard them chewing something, and it's like, what are they chewing on? I don't want to beat this to death and talk too long about it, but it's such. I'm having fun continuing to explore. We've played this a lot. I've played this a lot with a lot of people, and I continue to feel like I am exploring different pathways. And it's not becoming the same game over and over and over again. That's why every time I play it, I enjoy it more, which is why it has climbed to the number 1 game of all time for me.
It's a great choice. Any one of those 3, other than Terraforming Mars, would be a great choice.
Yeah, you need to. We're recording. I won't say what I'm going to say.
So my
Please
number
don't touch
1.
Me. Oh, I thought you were going to touch me.
No.
Oh, yes.
1.
This big old bag has been on the floor, and I have no idea what's in it. I thought it was Great Western Trail.
No.
What have you not talked about yet? Because you talked about...
I'm trying to grab all of it.
Do you want me to close my eyes so you can pile it on the table? Hold on, there's...
Ready?
I peeked. Hold on, I'm getting your handle out. Yeah, Marvel Champion. I've
got one more box that I've left at work.
I thought you talked about this already.
No. Marvel Champion. So, I have over 150 plays of this now. And I have everything except like a couple of packs. Like Thor, for some reason I don't have. And maybe Valkyrie. I don't know. But this was in my top 5 last year, for sure. And I finally just had to like bite the bullet and be like, I like this game more than all the others. I play this more than anything else. Stop being a wimp and just own the fact that I like this more than any other game. Now, one of the reasons I like this game is it has extended itself through all the packs. And, like the X-Men is the best expansion to this, hands down, I think. Better than Red Skull, better than, Galaxy's Most Wanted, better than all of those. And then the Cable one kind of goes back a step, so I wouldn't, even though I like it, like Red Skull might be better or some of those others. I don't know how I would rank them all, but the one with Magneto the first X-Men. Superior. And then I took a break for a few months, and then I've gotten back into it since Thanksgiving, and it's great. It's great. You can play so many different ways. Each character you can play in like a protection or a leadership or aggression. I can't remember what the yellow aspect is, but like you have the ability to play the same character all these different ways. And the more that you buy, which they've got you locked in for that, the more options you have, and you can go online and just pick a deck and pick which aspect you want to be and go fight and try to go through their little campaign that they have. Like, it's so good. And it took me 25 plays to find it. Like, I powered through this trying to be like, why is this game good? Why, I was losing 80% of the games when I started. When I finally started to realize, like, I like this game, and I got, like, the Green Goblin expansion. That was, if you get this, the only thing I would add to it to start is if you like Spider-Man and Green Goblin, I would add that Green Goblin villain pack, and then I would buy Captain America because he is one of the easiest to learn and win at. And then once you start winning, then you can start seeing, okay, now if I use this person, it's a lot harder than Captain America or somebody else like that. You can get there. Otherwise, you may just find it frustrating and not understand why you're losing, and you won't play the game right. There's so many rules, so many keywords, so many this. You're going to get something wrong. And, I'll still text my other friends that play it even more than I do and be like, okay, what's this? And, I keep the keywords on my phone so I can look at them and like, oh, all right, Star does this and this one does that and so forth and so on. Because they keep adding a new keyword for every box that come out to kind of change the mechanic up and keep it interesting.
Arkham Horror does that too.
Yeah, and it's the same. And they do it on 3 different game systems, right? They do know what they're doing, and they've refined it in such a way that, Fantasy Flight's done a great job with this stuff.
I want to like this.
You have picked a different one.
I know,
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
Like, I don't think you can play Arkham, and that, like, I play this so that I can play something in an hour or less, and I can play it at lunch. This is where I play this so often because I actually do play this at work, right?
See,
at lunch, granted, not when I'm supposed to be working. But then I can't do that with Arkham Horror. I can't get it set up and played in an hour. Yeah. It's like playing a board game Commitment. You're a couple hours in, right?
It is. Yeah.
So this is my living card game. Now, if I didn't have a lot of other things, Kingdom Death Monster, something else that I was going to play solo, the Arkham one and the story and everything would be great.
I wish I could play at work. I am in a glass office. And so I have students that if they see me, if I'm on the phone, if I'm in a web call, even if I have a big old thing that I put on my door that says, in a virtual meeting, do not disturb, they see me and they just open the door and walk in.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be there and be playing a board game or something, people would watch. Even right now, I try to read and study over my lunch break, and I can't do that. But so anyways, all that to say, if I had a place at work to be able to play like at lunch, this would be the type of game I would want to play, because I could not do Arkham really, because some games I can get done pretty quick, and then other games you never know. The story could go on. It is a story driven game. And so to be able to sit down and play something that plays quick enough would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm truly, honestly jealous of the fact that you get to do that.
Yeah. And like I said, I've got it gets done. This is not cheap, but at least you can bite off a little bit at a time.
You can, and you can
don't buy it all at once.
Don't
buy it all at once.
You don't have to upgrade things, but there are things you probably want to, like
sleeving
the
the cards,
sleeves. Yeah,
you have to. Honestly, this is I find sleeving this essential because there's 9 cards that come in the base game that you have to use every time.
Yeah,
and those start getting worn out, and I was like, oh, I gotta sleeve. And then once you start sleeving, you have to sleeve everything.
Yeah.
So that's
You
realize what you're getting into.
Yeah, you're in
with that. So that's our top 100 of all time.
Yes.
As of today.
A couple little upsets here and there.
Garbage games. Horrible.
Yeah.
Flame me down in the comments. You Amerithrash commie blah blah blah.
We both have them on our top 10. Yeah. What'd you think? So now you've seen either 5 of our games or all 100 of our games. What do you think about the lists? What are your favorites? I would love to know. Comment down below your top 5 games of all times. At the
Mhm.
bottom of this video, what they are. 'Cause maybe they're the same, maybe they're not. And honestly, maybe they will encourage us to
Go buy them.
go buy them. Maybe I should say don't do that then, so we don't go buy them. But yeah,
Go buy your games, or you can just send them to us. That'd be fine.
yeah, that works too. Also, let everybody else know in your comments that Toph had the better list. So that's awesome too.
No.
Friends, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed, please consider doing so because we'd love to have you sitting at the table for all of our randomness, reviews, lists. Brad making me feel uncomfortable, whatever it might be. Please don't touch me. We'd love to have you hanging around for the long term.
And just remember, no matter how you play, whether it's solo, with family, or friends,
Enjoy whatever games you are bringing to the table.
have a great night.